Hey y'all, how's it going? This is different from the other videos that I've made before because this is a live commentary. I don't do these very often anymore, at least. I used to do them often. The last one of these I did was the Erasure Train video in YBA. That was a couple months ago, so nice to be back, but at the same time, I wish I was talking about something cool. Long story short, AUT almost did a good update, and then immediately walked it back. Yesterday they put out an announcement that they would be keeping legacy movesets in as a V1 situation, and then you'd be able to obtain the version 2 individually. Hey, editing Alex here. I'm sorry I didn't explain this very well. When a rework would come out for an ability, they would keep the old version, but still add the new one. So everyone with the old one would keep the old one, and then they would have to get the new one individually. It would just keep the old one in the game, you could still get the new one, and it would be fine. The old one would be considered the version 1, the new one would be considered the version 2. They would be two separate abilities, just for archival purposes, I have to imagine. So the old Love Train that, you know, I've made a video on and I love, would be staying in the game. And I was so happy to hear that. But tragically, the trading community, as usual, had to come in and get all upset. So the main issue that they had was because they would be separate abilities, a lot of the traders that had already grinded up, like, high rarity traits would just not be rewarded for all of that. Because they wouldn't have the trait that they got on the new ability, it would be on the old one. And that upset a lot of people. But here's my argument on that, though. For the people that are like, oh, but then I'm not rewarded for all that hard work that I did. You are. You got the trait on the ability you got the trait on. You got exactly what you should have gotten. It's weird that you expected, okay, this work that I'm going to do is going to reward me later for something different. Like, no. You're doing a different thing and expecting the same result. That's not reasonable. It just doesn't seem like a very considerate or thoughtful mindset, because a lot of the people thought that the new system was just bad because they wouldn't be able to keep their trade, and that caused the developers to kind of walk back the decision a little bit. They said that the abilities would be keeping traits and skins together, which I was completely okay with. I wasn't opposed to that. It was just I would rather keep legacy movesets than some traders have high rarity abilities, because I don't care. I'm so past this obsession with value and account, like, worthiness. It's the most gatekeepy, like, not at all useful to anyone. It's such a worthless mentality. Like, if you're playing a fighting game, man, play it to have fun. Play it to fight people. You're just sitting in main game hitting bots over and over again so that you can have a higher number on your account value. Nonsense. But I was fine with the change. Tragically, that was not where the changes stopped. The next morning, they announced that, hey, if we just made it so new Love Train is just better old Love Train, then we don't need to keep it, right? And it was an overwhelming vote in favor of just not keeping it. That's such a shame to me. Like, AUT almost made a good change. It's the first self-respecting thing AUT had done in a while. Like, for the first time, it had acknowledged its history, and it acknowledged that there are things in this game that just aren't being acknowledged as much as they should, and that's just the way that things are now. But yeah, it is kind of upsetting to see the game almost acknowledge itself in a positive light, and then it just decided not to. We were so close to getting something cool, but because of the community the game has now, it just refuses to acknowledge itself like that, and it's kind of disappointing. I would have really liked to see that. And it just goes to show, like, a lot of the problems that I have with AUT right now. It just doesn't want to be a better game, because its community is just so complacent of how it is right now. Because it doesn't have to be a better game. It can continue being exactly what it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no demand to see AUT improve, and that's disappointing. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just super disillusioned with AUT right now. I only really got back into it because of Scott, and I just can't be bothered to care. Like, this game is just not what it was, and it's not good anymore. Was it ever good? I don't think so. Like, it had points of being not bad. I really liked the combat rework beta. It's gotten to the point where, like, the devs don't care, the community doesn't care, the YouTubers don't care. What's the point? Why bother trying to be a voice of reason? It's just completely pointless. I have wanted to help this game as much as I could. I am past that point. But yeah, it's just not something I can bother myself with anymore. I'm not going to be making the Infuriating Downfall video. I'm not going to be making any of that. It's just not worth the time. I will likely be moving on to other stuff for my YouTube soon. I don't know what that will entail, but it's not going to be this, because I have done this for too long. But yeah, this game and its community and its development cycle and all of it is just so fucking draining. It's too much to put into a game that isn't actually trying to accomplish anything anymore. Unless Wonder Review ends up being a messiah and is just the pinnacle of balance, then I'm not coming back to this game. I'm a huge Wonder Review fan, but don't expect any more AUT on this channel. But yeah, I'm not gonna be coming back to AUT. It's just not a game that I can afford to have interest in anymore. I don't want to support the updates. I don't want to support this game. If it wants to go in a good direction, then alright, but I don't see that happening. At every turn, this community tries to make the game worse. They do everything they can. I mean, same with the updates, kinda. They just keep adding more and more and more power crypt, and it's just, why? This isn't helping anything. This isn't fixing the problems, because these aren't problems. They're not perceived as problems. The problems that are in the game aren't so much problems as they are just results of monetization. And that's not going to change. That aspect of this game is just going to be how it is, and we just have to deal with it. AUT is going to be in this little ditch, and I won't be here for when it gets dragged out. Or for when it finally dies. I just don't care anymore. I'm sorry if that's not what you were expecting from me, but that's what you got. I'm done trying to grasp at this game's corpse, and I want to move on to other things. I've had AUT and Infuriating Downfall breathing down my neck for almost a year now, and I'm tired of it. I'm probably gonna play Minecraft or something. I don't know. I doubt it'll be this. But yeah, I do really appreciate you guys sticking around for all 2 episodes of Classics of AUT. I understand a lot of you probably wanted more, but a lot of the most requested abilities ended up getting reworks in that time anyway, so, you know. But yeah, as I've said a couple times now, I'm not going back to AUT. So if that's what you subscribed for, if that's what you're expecting from this channel, feel free to undo that, because this sounds not great, but I would rather an active audience than a large one, because I understand that hollow or inactive subscribers can kind of be more detrimental to a channel than anything, which is why it's so difficult for a lot of people to switch topics. Now's your chance to jump ship before you start getting weird stuff in your recommended, because I'm not playing more Roblox games, not for a while. This is gonna be my last one for a good bit, and thanks for coming along for the ride, but this is where the train stops. Bye!